Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Meg's Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and to today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, so obviously I am still doing my vlog series. I am going to mention it right now. During the last half of my holiday, I didn't really vlog all that much. So what it will be is all the pictures that I took on my holiday. I'll do like a great big video for it at the end, once I've uploaded all the vlogs that I did do. Because what ended up happening is I ended up wanting to experience it more than vlog it. Because I feel like when you vlog, you take yourself out of the experience. And with this being my first time out to America and to Disneyland and to Universal, things like that, I really didn't want to miss anything. So there's certain things that I didn't vlog, that I took more pictures of. So yeah, so I'll do all the vlogs as and when I can. Because also with it being horror month, well, the last few days of horror month anyway, I wanted to post at least a couple of horror themed videos to go with the horror month. So yeah, that's just a quick little channel update. But today's video is my top 5 favourite horror movies of 2023 so far. Now, bearing in mind there are still quite a few horror movies that I haven't watched, or I watched them once and they didn't leave that much of an impact, so I need to watch them again just to see if I can change my mind on them. So these are the movies that, for me, had the most impact, whether they scared me, whether they made me laugh, because there is one horror comedy in this, because I tried to make it full-on horror, but there's one film that I definitely had to talk about, so yeah. But anyway, so obviously there's things like Slaughterhouse, I still haven't watched yet, which is a horror movie about sloths. I know, they're starting to make some weird stuff now. But yeah, so there's certain films I haven't had a chance to see. So obviously by the end of the year, this could be completely different. But as of right now, these are the films that I have watched that I have truly enjoyed. Okay, so this is in no particular order. So I'll start with the one that I don't own physically. And I actually only watched the other day, but it was still good. And that is Sick. So this is the movie that is based around COVID. It's basically about the serial killer who's going around killing people during the COVID situation. There was a twist in it that I didn't see coming, which I'm quite surprised about. But this one actually surprised me. Just for the simple fact of when you hear about a serial killer being set during COVID, it sounds a bit odd. Like they were just trying to hype up COVID, you know, like sort of like make films around COVID, which they do. But I think the reason why I loved it is because it was done by Kevin Williamson. Now, he did the original 4 Scream movies, so of course, Scream's one of my favourite franchises. So, knowing that the guy that helped Wes Craven do those films, helped with this horror film, was brilliant. I loved it. But no, this was better than I thought it was going to be. I did watch another film called Totally Killer, which I thought had a really cool concept. However, comparing the two, I was like, I preferred the suspense in Sick than I did Totally Killer. I know, it's weird because Totally Killer looked really good. But no, Sick actually surprised me. This is the one that surprised me the most, to be honest. Because when you think of, like I said, when you think of a slasher during COVID, it's like, that's not going to work. But then it kind of did. Because, as I say, there was a twist near the end that I didn't see coming. But yeah, so this was a really good film. Oh, by the way, this is in no particular order. Well, obviously, my number one, we all know what my number one's going to be if you've watched this channel for a while. But obviously, I'll save that one till last. But the rest are all the ones that I, like, randomly enjoyed. The next one, of course, is Megan. I surprisingly enjoyed this. Like, I watched the trailer for it, and I thought, this could be a good horror film, but also at the same time, when she was doing that weird dance scene in the corridor, I kind of thought, is it going to take the seriousness out of this? But it actually ended up being better than I thought it was going to be. But, yeah, so Mithrigan, or Megan, whichever you want to call it, surprised me as well. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm hyped for a Megan 2, because I know we're getting another one. I think this could have been one and done, I think, to be honest. But this is still a really good horror film. It's certainly different. And it's another killer doll that I can actually watch, like Chucky, because dolls terrify me a little bit, to be honest. But Chucky and Mithrigan, I can watch. And now I did not pick the 3 again because it's my name. Before anyone says anything. The next one is the horror comedy that I was on about, and that is Renfield. Oh my god, when I watched the trailer for this, I thought this is going to be silly, this is going to be weird. It's Nick Cage, you know, like, I can take or leave Nick Cage. It depends on what film he's in as to whether I enjoy it or not. I mean, like, Face Off, I really enjoyed. There's another one, National Treasure, I enjoyed him in that. But then it's things like, not gonna lie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Like, I watched that one, but couldn't enjoy it. Whether it's because I was tired of a night shift, like I said, I keep meaning to rewatch that one. But him as Dracula was hilarious. And Nicholas Hoult as Renfield, I think he did an amazing job. This film is so hilarious. Yes, the blood and guts and gore are a little bit too CGI'd for my tasting. And there's a lot of it. Like, there's a lot of blood. Tasting, sorry. But no, this ended up being a hell of a lot more funny than I thought it was going to be. And that surprised me, because with Nick Cage, like I said, I can take or leave him. So the fact that I actually enjoyed this film is saying something. I think he did an amazing Dracula, but I think Nicholas Hoult stole the show as Renfield. I think he did an amazing job. There's some really cool, like, fight scenes in this as well, which I really enjoyed. There's a lot of other actors in this that I have seen in other things that I enjoy. Can't think of their names right now. But our 2 main leads, amazing. And I like the fact that this is around Renfield. And even though you've got Nicolas Cage as Dracula, you would think that Nick Cage as Dracula would take away from the Renfield side of things. But it didn't. It felt like Nick Cage was more sidelined as a sideline character, which felt good, you know, because obviously when it's a big name star as like a side character and not the main character, it's sort of like it could go either way. It could go, oh my god, this is good, it doesn't take away from the main character, or it could be, oh my god, it's a big star, we're not going to focus on Renfield. But we did, and I'm really glad that we did, because this is hilarious. I definitely will be watching this again and again. One of my favourite vampire films, not gonna lie. And to the last 2, so the second to last one is Evil Dead Rise. Now, I remember going to see this on my BlueTuber meetup, which, if you haven't watched that, I have posted the vlog, go and check that out. But we went to go and see Evil Dead Rise. Now, this was my first ever movie into the Evil Dead franchise. I had never seen any of the others. I hadn't seen the remake. I hadn't even watched the TV shows. So this was my first step into the Evil Dead film. And oh my god, this was so good. Creepy, and it made me jump. It grossed me out. And I loved the fact that we had people in the cinema with us that were making the same noises as us, whether they were screaming, whether they were going, oh god, no. Honestly, when you have a horror film that has those kind of reactions, brilliant. But no, this surprised me, and it made me want to watch the other Evil Dead films. That's how much I enjoyed this film. And like I said, I definitely will be watching this again. It's such a good horror film, and it's the idea of being isolated in a tall building. And not only that, but it's the thought of your mum turning out to be a monster. Like, how would you deal with that? Like, And then some of the stuff that happens in this film is so creepy. But it is so enjoyable. If you have not watched Evil Dead, any of the films, I definitely recommend watching this one, because this was such a good first step into the films. And then, of course, if you are a regular to this channel, you know exactly what film's going to be my number 1 right now. And I don't think anything else is going to beat it horror-wise. And that is Scream 6. Yes, of course, Scream 6 is my number 1 favourite movie of the horror year. I like that, the horror year. Because it's technically the year of horror, because we've had quite a few horror movies come out this year. But no, Scream 6, oh my god, I had such a good time with this. Scream 5 was good, but I would say Scream 6 was just that much better. Like, I loved the fact they took a twist on the opening scene. I loved the ladder scene, going from apartment to apartment. I will say my only downside is the ending of the film. It is a little bit repetitive in a sense. I'm not going to say why, because some people might not have seen this film yet, and I don't like to spoil things for people. But And I will say this, as much as I would like to have had Sydney in this, you didn't feel her being missed in this film. They explained why she wasn't there, and I think they gave a very good reason. But also it made Gale a bit more of the focus of the film, because obviously with Sydney, it weren't just, like, the Sydney was the main focus, but you also took more focus on Dewey than Gale, I think, for some of the franchise. So for the fact of that, not only that, but Gale got her first ever phone call with Ghostface. Because if you've watched the other films, you will know that in Scream 2, Gale was getting phone calls, but Randy then picked up the phone. So technically that phone call should have gone to Gale. So this is the very first time she's ever spoken to Ghostface. And it was such a tense scene. I cried at certain points because I thought, what the hell? You know, it tensed me up. And the fact that it's set around Halloween, I think that's really cool, because obviously you never know who's behind what mask, things like that. But yeah, this was a really good film, and honestly, so good. I will be watching this over and over and over again, and I cannot wait for Scream 7. I can't wait to see what they do. I think there's rumours going around that Neve Campbell is coming back. I do hope she does, because if Scream 7 is set to be the final film, which we all know might not be, but if it is set to be the final film, I would like the final film to have our Sydney Prescott, because she made the franchise. You know, she was our final girl, as they say. You know, she's my favourite final girl. So definitely Neve Campbell needs to be in the last one, especially with Gale. Certain characters I wish could come back, but at the end of the day, Scream 7 is going to be what it is. So fingers crossed it's going to be good. But Scream 6, oh my god, my absolute favourite horror movie of the year so far, and I hate to say it, but I don't think nothing's going to beat it. I have too much love for this franchise, and I really, really enjoyed this film. So, yeah, Scream 6 is my favourite horror movie of 2023 so far. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of other films that I have not had a chance to watch yet, so this could all change. Obviously the number one spot won't, but the rest of it might. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your comments down below. What's your top 5 favourite movies, well, horror movies of 2023 so far? I'd love to see your guys' lists. And it's nice to be back doing videos. I miss you guys. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. See you guys next time. Bye!